Hello, guys. Today I'm going to dive into a topic that is very close to my heart. Bangladesh has lots of promising combat sports athletes. However, despite this, we are still struggling to make a name for ourselves in the international arena. We have a very big population. We are one of the big populated country in the world. Therefore, we should have lots of combat sports athletes from our country, but we do not. And why is that? In this video I will point out 5 reasons that I believe is the core of this issue, and this 5 reason is what is stopping Bangladeshis to perform in international arena and making a name for themselves. Number one, self-centeredness and selfishness. Why I am saying this is number one, I'm going to explain. Bangladeshis equates training in violence means you are a bad person. When I used to train back in 2013, 2012, 13, 14, I used to get a side eye from people. Many people approached me while training saying, why are you training like this? Are you going to hurt someone? Are you going to are you planning to do something bad? Are you a bad guy? Why it is necessary for you to train in violence, train in combat sports? To them, if you train in combat sports, if you train in violence, that means you are a bad person who is planning to do something bad. How this psychology works is they think only bad people need to learn violence. Good people doesn't need to learn violence. When a bad people attacks someone, abuses someone, as a good human being, what we do is we avoid. We don't want to interfere in anyone's business. Just avoid. Don't interrupt in their business. This is the mentality of good people of our country. I say this is wrong. If you are a good human, if you think you are a good human being, and if you do not stop bad people from harming weaker individuals, then you are a complice, and our religion says so. If you do not stop bad people and abusers from abusing, then you are also a complice. You will be treated as same who is abusing. And this concept does not work in our culture, our country. And people do not think that way. They think if someone is bad, they also only needs to learn violence. They do not think it is the responsibility of a good human being who knows violence to stop a bad people from attacking and abusing someone with violence. If a good person do not do that, he is not a good person, he is also a bad person. So only good person are those who knows violence and stops themselves from abusing others, and when necessary they will attack and defend people who are weak and who needs defending. This is an example of good human being according to our religion, and this needs to be practiced in our culture, and this is not common in our culture right now. And this is the core issue, I will say, to have this mentality from practicing combat sports. People are not practicing combat sports only because of this reason. And the second reason I will say is lack of warrior culture. You'll see, if you notice where does the best combat sports athletes are coming from? The best combat sports athlete comes from places like Dagestan, Chechnya, Russia, Koskas, Japan, even from USA and Brazil also. Chechnya, Dagestan, Russia, these lands are always involved in war. There is 1,000 years history of war exists for these nations. USA always involved in war. Brazil is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Japan, they were involved in World War II. So these war-torn country and this country who experienced war actually gives birth to best athletes, best combat sports athletes. And this is a tradition and trend you will notice. For Bangladeshis, for Indians, we were subdued by British for 300 years. Bangladeshis were not like that. We had a long history of warrior culture. We were very difficult to control. Mughal struggled us to control. Before that, Shen dynasty and other dynasties, Gupta dynasties, these came to our land, but they struggled us to control. We had our own sultanate. We had our own independent state, Bengal Sultanate, Khilafat, because we were not easy to control and we didn't bow down to anyone. But 200, 205, 250 50 years all of colonization took that away from us. We are now very dormant. We became dormant. We do not want to engage in war. Last war we participated in 1971, and if you can say that the July Revolution is some kind of war, yes, I will agree. War against a fascist. But things are changing, I will say. Things are changing, and I think this is a good sign. Number three, lack of international level training facilities. It is one of the core reasons for us that is stopping us from participating in international sports, international level game. We don't have the training facilities that are available in outside country. India has lots of gyms. India has lots of black belts in jiu-jitsu. India has lots of wrestlers who are Olympic gold medalists. India has lots of boxers who are Olympic gold medalists, own Olympic medals. But we don't have any Olympic gold medalist. We don't even have a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. This is a shame for us. This, this is an absolute shame for us. We are struggling for this reason. Until or unless we cannot provide international level facilities, international level coach, we won't able to reach that level of competitiveness. We cannot compete with international level players, and this brings me to my fourth reason, which is lack of government support. Our government do not care about combat sports. We do have some federation, yes, but these federations are completely useless. They don't have any goal to compete in international level. They organize national level compet- competitions every year where they compete among themselves, very lazy, the sports, the level of competitiveness and their level is shown when you watch their match. They don't have any chance against any international level wrestlers or any boxers. We have some good boxers recently, but these boxers are not from federation. These boxers are mainly from privately owned professional boxing gyms that are being established, and they train there, and we can see some good boxers right now. This is very recent, but federation didn't do anything. Government didn't do anything. Not last 16 years, not even now. Government only cares about football. Sorry, cricket, not even football. Combat sports has a great future, but our government do not see it. This is also a fault of the last 3 points I have mentioned. The government also sees combat sports is something bad, violent, inhuman. This is the thought process of secular minds, and our government is mostly seculars. So, what I was saying, these federations needs to be corrected. These federations needs to have responsibilities, and these federations needs reform. We need responsible people, real athletes in charge of these federations. These federations are run by old fools. Most of them never competed either. They just want a monthly salary and that's it. They don't care about athletes going abroad, competing international level. They don't want it. They just want their monthly income. And sometimes when some international proposal comes, they bring their family, they go there to shop. That's it. They don't. And in many cases, after going there, they say that we are sick, we can't actually compete. They pull out. This is a tradition in Bangladesh. Taekwondo Federation does the same. Wrestling Federation does the same. There are other federation who does the same. Some athletes even flee. They do not return to our Bangladesh. This is why lots of international competition do not even invite us, because there is a tradition of Bangladeshi athletes who goes there and do not return and seeks asylum. So this is very sad, and this is one of the core reason. And this brings my fifth reason, which also linked with this. All of these reasons are linked with each other. The fifth reason is lack of incentives. Most of the combat sports athletes that currently we have and the federation athletes that we have right now comes from very poor background. They involve themselves in combat sports only for one reason, which is to get into defense force. That's it, nothing else. They don't want to compete in international level. They don't see themselves as champion. They, some of them believes that they do not have that athletic capacities and they are genetically inferior compared to the athletes of other countries. That is the level of brainwashing that happens among the athletes in this country. That is very sad. And these athletes come, trains, when they get a job in defense, in army, they just leave. Some of them trains just to compete in national level games. That's it. That is their only agenda. That is their only goal. They just want to compete in national level. Maybe some Asian games, just competing. They don't see themselves as champion. That's the main issue. You need to visualize yourself as a champion. Remember what Conor McGregor said. Conor McGregor always visualized himself what he was doing. He visualized that he will knock Aldo out, and he was able to do it. He visualized that he is a double champ. He is the double champion. He was able to do it. We don't even visualize. We visualize ourselves as losers. That's why we lose. That is the reality of the athletes in this country. And it is also applicable for cricket. So, as there are no incentives rather than joining army, most of the athletes do not know that there is a big market in international level. You can earn lots of money from international participating in international game, but you need some local incentives also, national level incentives also. It did not existed until recently. Recently, some organization, privately owned organization, began to organize some fights like car nights, like double horse, Muay Thai championship, kickboxing championship. These are very good. What they have done for this sport is very good. Excel. They are arranging boxing competitions, and their level of organization and promotion can be compared with international level international level of competitions. And I think I'm hopeful that things will improve in future, but athletes need to change their mind. Athletes needs to reform themselves. They need to think like a champion. Most of the MMA guys also, as they don't have any incentives, they don't you can't actually live your life from fighting MMA. There are not enough incentives that will enable you to live your daily life. You can survive with the income you make from MMA in Bangladesh. So what they do after participating in 3 to 4 fights, they establish their own gym. They build their own gym. They start training. They start providing training, and they stops training. They stops competing. This is what this is the cycle that is has been ongoing for last 10 to 15 years. There were lots of guys who had potential who stopped training and established a gym. Now they are the trainer. But they could have done something great. They could have participated in on international level sports. They could have trained in international level gyms. But I understand their reality though. I understand as they also have families to feed. You cannot just train and not eat anything, right? You have to eat. You have to provide for your family. So that is the sad reality of the combat sports of our country. Even these struggles, even we have such struggles, we still are producing some good fighters, good combat sports athletes like Monjur, Rashid. There are several combat sport athletes in recent time who are doing great despite all these struggles, and we should appreciate them. We should appreciate them because they are acting as the role model for the future generation, and future generations of athletes will follow them. And I appreciate them. I encourage them not to stop. Keep grinding. Keep grinding, and I am confident that these guys will do excellent. These guys will bring championship. These guys has the potential to become international level champions. And if our government help, if we can change these issues, we can get rid of these issues, I do believe we will become a country like Dagestan. We will able to provide champions for UFC, ONE FC. We will have boxing champion. We will have Olympic gold medalist wrestlers even. And I do really believe that. And I think it is only possible if government interferes. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Thank you.